Okay, so it looks like it went live. I'm not sure if we're visible on the main page yet.
It says that it's live right now. It says like in yellow words or black words.
Okay, yeah, this part's always so awkward. Like I know I tried it out a few days ago and it took a while before I was actually able to see everyone in the chat.
Really?
Um, okay, there it is. I know I tried it out a few days ago and there we go. Had to mute that. Okay, so yeah, we're on.
Are you really?
Okay, yeah, I just had to go back to the other page just so I could see the chat box. Okay, yeah, there you go. I see pop up every once in a while on there. So yeah, it looks like no one's really come in yet. But it does show 5 people watching right now.
No. Okay. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it kind of goes kind of quick. Like I know like last time I was fiddling with it because I couldn't see the chat box and everybody's like, we're here, we can see you. It was kind of funny. Um, yeah, so right now it looks like there's 3 watching right now. Haven't really seen anyone interact or really like come in yet. Oh, okay, yeah. Chat's delayed always a bit. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I still haven't gotten used to it yet. Still adjusting.
Do you want me to send out the link to a few people or
Sure. I haven't shared it. I think mine pops up auto on Twitter if I remember correctly. And I think that's the only place it pops up.
all right. I'm just gonna
Yeah, so my thing went out on Twitter, and it hasn't really shared anywhere else. So yeah, I guess if you want to share it along just to, I guess, let other people know that we're on.
wait, how many people are watching right now?
Let me go back. Right now we have 5. Everyone's probably like, this is so boring.
It is boring. What did you name it?
um, Actually, I didn't
Chess?
even give it a name. It just says film review. It was like on my auto settings, so I don't know if I can go back and correct that.
They're probably wondering what kind of film review this is.
There goes. Yeah, I just went back and just called it random chit chat since we don't really have like a topic or anything that we're going with.
Does everything seem good or is there like a do I look glitchy or anything?
I only see you pop up every now and again. Oh, and let me see. They're asking who you are.
Hmm? Oh,
They're asking who you are.
I'm Sean, just Sean, and my channel Seanical Reviews, which is a play on the word Sean and cynical because I've been known to be really cynical with movies.
Yeah, kind of right now we're just kind of doing like a pre-test stream for the thing on Sunday since we're doing the, what is it, the creepy channel crawl. So we're just kind of doing kind of like a test run at that right now, just to, I don't know, I guess just get our feet wet since I know myself, I'm still kind of getting used to this whole live streaming thing. So I
Yeah, I've only been
on
on a
the,
few of them. Uh, I think one last year, and I was with a bunch of like 30-year-old men and one 16-year-old dude. It was like this really big chat, and I don't think I got to talk a lot, honestly. So I don't think that was the best experience. I think this one's a lot more just back and forth. The other one was just crazy and it glitched out a lot of times. So
I think, yeah, Double Shot Jay, he's in the chat. He's kind of asking why the camera's pointed at your chest. Um, I guess they're just kind of like
oh,
asking to see you, or I don't know if maybe you're just not comfortable. I don't know.
oh no, I'm comfortable. I just look a little. Mm, I don't know. I'm using this really crappy camera right now. And is that better? Is that better for those people?
Yeah, you up a lot better now. I guess maybe they just kind of thought it was a little bit weird.
Yeah,
Um,
just the chest.
yeah, I mean, like I'm just on the web camera from my laptop, so it's just pretty much like right in my face. But I know like when I first started doing video stuff, I had like an iPod 4 and the video quality on that thing was just like so horrible. That's funny.
No, I'm not attractive at all. It's fine.
And it
Jake
looks
is.
like Gory's here.
Hey, oh yeah, it is. For some reason, I didn't notice it. Hey
Yeah, we
Gary.
had kind of like randomly put the thing together, and I was supposed to like call him after work, and then I just like randomly fell asleep on the floor because I was tired. So we're just like barely getting to it right now.
So and Shonicle. Oh, thank you. Hi, Gory. But are we gonna invite Gory into this, or is it just gonna be you and me testing this out?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of figured we would just kind of like goof and try to figure this thing out. I don't know. I mean, like if Gory wants to jump on, I'm cool with it.
Hmm. Do you have her on the Google Hangout thing?
Um, I think it was horroraddicts.tv. I mean, I don't know if she wants to jump on or not. I'm just kind of like we're just kind of like making it up as we go along.
Okay, hold on. Let me just adjust this thing. And
Starting a live show. We're just kind of like doing the whole test for the creepy channel crawl thing since we're just kind of like just trying to figure the whole thing out still. So I figured it'd
mhm.
kind of be like a good idea to just do kind of like a pre-run before Sunday. Just that way we'd have more of like an idea of like I guess the whole setup and everything. Just watching, busy redecorating. Yeah, I didn't even think to like have like discussion topics like in my mind. I mean, other than like just random stuff that I've been watching or reviewing lately. Like I know I put up a ton of stuff last night because I was like working in bulk. I don't know if like your review style is like that because I know like sometimes I just like knock stuff out really quick and people are like, "Whoa, chill out."
No, it takes me like a month for each review. Um, Mainly because of the editing
Mhm.
and also because I'm very lazy. But I try really hard, and I think that it shows in my reviews. Hopefully,
Yeah, I mean, I try to take my time with stuff and try to see what I want to do. But I know sometimes I just kind of like get this Jones where I just like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I just crank them out.
Yeah. I feel like I want to crank out a it's not really a podcast, but it's where I just talk about a movie, uh not on camera or anything, but just my voice, and it's on like a Spreaker app, and I wanted to review Hellraiser Judgment.
Oh, okay. Um, I still I don't even keep up with the Hellraisers. Podcasting, yeah, I would actually be interested in learning to do that. I mean, just kind of like gathering more skills and whatnot. I think it'd definitely be fun to do. Thing is, I don't really know much about it. So I just really don't know like where would be a good starting point as far as like I guess best setup for beginners.
Yeah. I'm doing I'm starting to do like band commentaries. I did one for the Lost Boys, and I've never talked for like an hour,
Hmm.
and it was a very weird experience. And it was my first try. I thought it would take a few takes, and I did some like trivia things in my head. I started writing down things I wanted to talk about, and I think it ended up pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're just, I guess, like on the fly, things usually do come together fairly decently. I know, when was it? Sometime, was it last Saturday? I think I did my first like test live stream solo, and I happened to have been on for like 2 hours. I thought I'd only been on for an hour. I was like, whoa. But it was kind of funny. It just like flew right by.
Yeah, sometimes time flies too fast.
But yeah, what is it? Jay was asking about the creepy channel crawl. I think you follow me on Twitter. I have it pinned at the top of my page, but I know Gori also has it on her Horror Addicts webpage as well, where it just kind of like explains where we're just kind of doing like a pub crawl type style thing where everybody's kind of like hosting for 1 hour. It's just kind of like a way of helping other channels be seen, just due to like the whole YouTube thing where people are just kind of basically just getting pushed and buried. So it's kind of like a way of just, I guess, kind of like keeping each other up front as well as just discovering other channels. I know that was like a really bad description.
No, that's probably better than what I could think of. It's just I just think it's a really good idea. And
Hmm.
one second. I'll be right back. My bunny's like uh my bunny clearly wants to be fed right
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I think I added Gori in right as chat moderator. Um, but yeah, just answering Jay. I mean, I would totally love to learn how to do like the whole podcasting thing. I know I definitely have like a few other ideas for like live streaming shows that I'd like to do. So, I mean, I definitely have like a lot of ideas as far as like new changes that I want to do or new directions I want to go in. Um, I guess it's just kind of more like I have my ideas in mind. I just really don't know how to execute since all of this stuff is like super new to me since I've just been like stuck on video reviews for the longest time. And I just really want to branch out and try new things. Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I would definitely be willing to accept as much help as I can as far as podcasting. I mean, I know I'm one of those people. I'm very hands-on type learner, so I definitely have to like get in there and do stuff and see it. So it's kind of like the repetition with me. I guess a lot of people are like that, or I guess everyone who works video type stuff. We all tend to be more visual. I don't know if you guys would agree. Oh, thank you. I've actually, this is like my after work makeup, so it's kind of probably like all sweated up and like sloppy by the end of the day, but thank you for saying. This is basically just my basic look. I don't do like any of the fancy stuff with it or anything. Um, you enjoy the visual editing, and being able to add ridiculous jokes. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, especially when you can just make little tweaks here and there. But yeah, I mean, just because it would be a whole different world to me, I think it would be good to just expand my skills and learn different things. For Jay, do you have a preference between podcasting or doing like the video reviews, or you just like the option of just like jumping back and forth and doing both? Pajama pants and pigtails. That's funny. I can't even do pigtails. My hair is too short. Yeah, I know eventually I want to probably grow my hair out a little bit, but not ready to do that yet. Just kind of being lazy with not having to do anything with it, which I got spoiled off of. um, yeah, I used to have like super long hair. I don't know if you guys have seen like my old photos that I've posted, but my hair was like literally past my waist. And then senior year in high school, I just went shoulder length, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" But I honestly find, especially just because I'm getting lazier as I'm getting older, I prefer the shorter hair just because you don't have to fuss with it as much. Oh, okay, you saw my old videos. um, yeah,
Is everything working?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry,
I'm.
just he made a huge mess.
Yeah, my dogs are actually in the living room right now. I think they're napping.
I wish my bunnies could nap. I'm just gonna check the chat.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an added freedom in podcasting since you potentially could just pick it up just here and there. But yeah, I mean that's what I think. I don't know. I haven't really actually done it yet.
a
My
podcast.
dog is watching this with me. Yeah, I think I saw him when you were teaching me how to do the live stream the first time. He's actually a really cute dog. Um, I forget was his name Brocky, or I'm bad with names. But yeah, as far as like movies and stuff, I really haven't been watching too much lately other than whatever I'm just randomly watching for review.
Uh, wait, that I was gonna ask you a question.
Hmm.
Um, how did you how did you see Red Eye? Because I know you, I did a review. I know you did a review, but I didn't get to see it yet. But
I don't know if they have it up on VOD yet, but I was actually part of the what do you call it, the crowdfunding. So I actually got my link early, and I think it actually expires today. And then once they get the physical copies, I'll actually get like a the physical copy of the movie.
uh, because that's a movie I've been really anticipating, like all last year, basically.
Yeah, they did like quite a bit of teasers for it. Like I know there were like a few with Destiny where she had like her arms tied up, and she was like all covered in blood, and she was just screaming. But you can definitely tell they had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it, it's just I don't know. I really want to find like a copy of it, but I doubt I will because I don't think they're selling CDs anymore in stores. It's getting like less and less. Like
False
you know,
proxy sessions. Hello. You made it for this live stream. He was saying that he was bummed out that he missed my first one. So I was kind of like telling him because we were messaging last night or yesterday. I was just saying that that we might be jumping on today. But yeah, that's pretty much the only way I got like my early copy is because of the whole crowdfunding thing. I think they just kind of did it like as kind of like a little extra since it took them a while to like actually get everything moving because they had like a little delay here and there. So it was kind of like their, um, what would you say, kind of like just adding a little bit of icing, kind of like saying, you know, sorry it's taking so long, but we're still doing this type deal.
yeah. Is it as good as you thought it would be?
I try not to have expectations, just because usually when I go into a movie thinking, oh, it's going to be this and it's going to be about that, then I usually wind up not liking it. So I just kind of try to go into it with an open mind, just so I can, you know, like hopefully try to see it the way that they wanted to present it. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, as far as like my review, yeah, I thought there were like a few lines that the dialogue was kind of like a little bit stiff or odd, like it didn't have like a natural flow to it. Just here and there, like not like the whole thing, of course. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I think they did an excellent job, and I think this was their first movie for both of them.
Hold on, I'm just sending the link to some other sources.
Crowdfunding is exciting. I love joining in on crowdfunding stuff. Even if it's something I'm not able to, I usually like to share links for stuff on my Twitter, just kind of try to get the word out on other people's projects, especially if something really interests me. I just figured, you know, help pass the word along because somebody else might really love that whole concept as well and want to jump in and help them out. Um, and my whole ideology is, I mean, especially if like you're a starting filmmaker, I mean, any help is greatly appreciated. I kind of like have this idea that I've been rolling around in the back of my head that I want to do a short film. I don't know if and when I will do it, but it's primarily just going to be mostly told either through like the what would you say, like the music used in it. So it's mostly just body language, like no actual dialogue or anything. So I don't know.
I think that would be very interesting. Body language instead of
Yeah, I mean, I think
actual
it's
dialogue.
more interesting that way because the audience has to be more engaged, but they also read more into it, um, like what they think it's about or what they think the whole symbologies mean, rather than having all this dialogue and just kind of like subconsciously spoon feeding the plot to your audience. I mean, let them decide for themselves. I've always been a big fan of that.
I guess it would suck to watch it if you were like blind or something. You'd have to put like some audio subtitles or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like if and when I would do it because I know I've been like playing with the idea of it since last year, and I know like every now and again somebody will say, "Oh, you should get into movies and do this," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't like get into reviewing to like actually, you know, like, hey, look at me, I'm in a movie." That's not what the whole thing was. It's just kind of like a concept that just came to me, and I just kind of thought it would be a cool idea.
Hmm. Have you ever directed a short film before though?
Um, Not directed. I mean, I used to write a lot when I was younger. I have a lot of short stories. I've had like a few like um, what would you say, like screenplays that I would write here and there, just kind of like goofing around. But it's definitely a different it's a different animal because when you're used to writing, you're used to like painting the picture with words and visualizing, and then when you're doing the screenplay, you have to like take like this technical aspect. So you're seeing the picture play in your head, and then you have to translate it to these other terminologies as far as like how the camera is supposed to see it. And to me, it gets kind of confusing, just because it's not something I have much practice with. But I mean, it's not bad. And
Yeah,
then
I've
of
written a
course,
few weird screenplays and stuff.
yeah,
I think we've all written like a Halloween script at a point, or at least
yeah.
just me.
Yeah, I mean, I just used to write a lot, goofing around when I was younger, and I definitely want to get back to it just because I've gotten away from it for so long, and it used to be a very big part of my life, just writing stuff.
Is there any movie that you're looking forward to this year, horror related or not?
I haven't really seen anything that's caught my eye. Like I don't really like follow the newer stuff. Um, I know as far as like older films that are being released, 88 Films is releasing Alice, Sweet Alice, and I'm like, oh no, because I'm like on a buying freeze right now because I have like so much stuff. I'm trying to like watch what I have and then decide what I'm keeping and what I'm not keeping. And I'm like, I really want to get Alice, Sweet Alice. I'm like, but I don't want to break my rule. So it's kind of like, what do I do? Like my first memory of watching that movie, because I used to hang out with my cousin after school. Um, his older sisters, they had rented Alice, Sweet Alice, and then they also rented My Demon Lover. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's like a comedy of like some guy that he's cursed. So basically, every time he's aroused, he turns into a demon. It's kind of funny.
That sounds silly.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
Uh, I don't really know your channel all that well, but have you like what do you mainly other than horror? What's your favorite thing uh
Um, what do you
like
mean, like
listen
favorite thing to do? Like just,
to talk about
huh?
to talk about?
Um, I don't know. I mean, like honestly, because I have like so many horror reviews and stuff, but I mean, music was honestly my first love. I loved music, and I've only recently like started mixing in music related stuff with my horror reviews and things. I'm just kind of like gradually changing it up here and there also.
Um, Sorry, cracking my knuckles. But I did see your video of the Satan
Oh
music
yeah.
video of Marilyn Manson, and I didn't know it was your video. I saw it like I think it was last month or just a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but you did make a good point in the video where he says, "You say God, I say Satan," where they're basically like they're they're basically the same or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
You explained it better than me.
yeah, I think it's like a whole different school of thought where there are like people who believe there is no good, there is no bad. It's the same thing. It's just more how you approach and execute things. Like for example, storms. You know, they can definitely bring new life into the area. You know, they water the plants, they water the crops. You get hard enough a storm, and it's destructive. So I mean, even then, I mean, like nature itself, it has light and dark. So I mean, it's everywhere. It's not just in people. What am I drinking? Perrier. um,
I have some like drinks over there, but I don't want to be destructive because when I drink, I'm very loud for some reason,
oh,
or at least like that's what my mic picks up. Because during my talking Terry, that's what I call it. But during my talking Terry, like I could hear each gulp, and I was hearing it back, and I thought it was flawless, and then I just started hearing myself gulp, and it was very, I don't know, very uneasy to hear myself like doing that. It was weird.
It just sounds more like you're self-conscious about it because I mean, I know, yeah, I mean, I tend to like gulp when I drink and you definitely do get like that, the throaty sounds. But I mean, I'm cool with it. It doesn't bother me. Double Shot Jay is asking for your channel. I think he wants to go check you out.
Uh, Hold on. There we go. Did you guys see the Marilyn Manson? Did you guys see Marilyn Manson?
Let me make you a martyr. Yeah,
I
I
have not
liked
seen
that.
it. I did not see it, and I keep trying to remind myself to see it because Marilyn Manson's like my favorite artist, or at least one of.
It
And I don't
I
know.
think it's like one of the biggest roles he's ever played because he usually does like little bit parts. I mean, like if you really want to see it, you can actually go to Voodoo. They have it free with ads, but I mean, you still get to see the movie.
All right.
I mean, it's just an option. Or if you have Shutter, I think Shutter still has it on. But
No,
I
yeah, I
love
bet it's on
the
streaming.
title of the movie because it kind of like plays on like everybody in the movie. It doesn't necessarily relate to like one specific character because everybody's like so flawed and they have all these other things. So it's kind of like they all have this own darkness about them. You can say the whole title, "Let Me Make You a Martyr," relates to like every single character and all of the shady stuff that they've done throughout the course of the film. I think it was actually very clever.
I don't even know the synopsis of the movie, but that's kind of how I want to get into it. Just knowing nothing about it but the title and that Marilyn Manson or Brian Warner is in it.
Gore is asking how long it takes me to do my full horror makeup. I recently picked up a different technique because I use cake. Um, and it used to take me like close to 3 hours to get that stuff on. And you know, anybody who's ever worked with cake, you'd probably say, "Big duh." It dawned on me one day, why don't you just pour some water in there instead of wetting the sponge and working like a little bit at a time? But it makes it way quicker. So it definitely knocks off at least like 20 minutes of my application time. It's the eyes that take forever, like the eyeshadow and all the detail with the glitter and everything. I think I have it down to about hour and a half to 2 hours, depending if I'm taking my time with applying the makeup. But I know Gory used to do the makeup also for her roller derby. I don't know if you used cake also or what type of makeup you used.
I wish I could do something like that, but I'm just too lazy. Plus, I don't show my face on my reviews. It's just a picture of me.
I mean, everybody's different. It's more about what you're comfortable. I mean, as long as you you know, get your message across, that's all that really matters. But yeah, I definitely love wearing the makeup and picking up different techniques and playing with looks. Um, I know some people just kind of describe it as a transformation because I'm basically like right now I'm just plain Jane me, and then I do like my whole reptilian look, and it's you can still tell it's me, but it's very different.
Yeah, I was very thrown off by it because I saw you. Uh, I saw one of your older videos,
Yeah.
and then you didn't have any of that. And then I saw a newer video, and it was very creepy, and it was very not disturbing, but very like weird. And then I was like, I don't know, it very fit. It fit what you were talking about, like a horror. You know, your main. It's called a horror. Is it called horror retrospective? It's called horror retrospective, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I always get it mixed up with some other thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
horror retrospective. So it would make sense that you look like a horror
I mean, like
character.
it's kind of like a whole play on words because I'm like, what kind of a world are we living in if a demon can't sit down and review a horror film? You know, it's definitely something you can play with. And I like to play with the looks and do variants here and there. But yeah, Jay was saying that he hadn't watched one of my videos in forever, and he clicked on a recent one and he's like, what the hell happened to her? I pretty much introduced that look with my Alien reviews where I did like the whole like franchise retrospective, and you actually got to see like my transformation like from like regular me into the reptile me. So it's kind of like you actually got to see my progress as the movie's progress. So I kind of like changed to fit the theme of each movie as it went. So I actually thought that was kind of cool.
Either way, you look dope.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, Gory's saying that she used to use cake also for her derby days, and it would take her about an hour and a half to apply. Yeah, I mean, like for me, depending like how detailed I want the look to be, sometimes I'll like layer like 2 or 3 layers of the cake, and then it's like get off. Definitely work to get that stuff off, and then like even in the shower, you've got like faded white stuff, and it's like can't completely get rid of it. It's funny. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, and then Gory's saying that she likes the contacts that I use. I'm probably going to be changing that because I do like the full sclera, and I know like sometimes they get a little bit hard to wear, so I'm probably gonna like switch over to the mini. But I don't want to like wuss out and like go smaller. But it's definitely probably would be easier on my eyes, especially because I film in bulk, so I kind of like have to go quick because I don't want to like push my eyes to do something that they're not comfortable with, safety first.
Yeah. I used to wear red eye contact lenses to school, and then a student was weirded out or something, and then they told me to not wear them anymore.
That's funny.
It was.
Okay, yeah. Jay was saying he kind of like backtracked to see like where I guess the weirdness started and when I stopped being like boring Kara.
I mean, you don't look boring,
Well, I just
but
mean like the regular face as opposed to like all the theatrical.
yeah, regular faces is what's boring.
Yeah. Rev Hagen just dropping by to say hi. Okay, I never thought to use like setter. That just like recently dawned on me. I don't like use any sort of like setter primer when I um, do my cake. Does it like help it hold better, or does it just like keep you from like sweating through it as easily? Yeah, I probably should have finished reading Gory's comment. She's like, yeah, it helps keep it sweat proof. That's funny. Um, yeah, I know definitely with me because like I'll sit down and sometimes I'll like record 9 videos at a time because the makeup takes so long to put on. I just figure I might as well just make it worth the time and just like record in bulk because it's kind of pointless to just like sit down and do all of that detail for like 1 or 2 videos. It just kind of seems pointless.
Yeah. Have you ever done a collaboration with other YouTube people?
Only recently with Dice Rollin', we did a narration, and I forgot the other young lady's name, which I know totally rude. Um, but yeah, that was actually up on my Twitter, and I've been wanting to retweet that. But yeah, we all did kind of like a Valentine's Day thing where we read 3 short stories each. So it was like a whole thing of like it alternated between the 3 of us, where all of us were telling one story. So it's 3 stories each, so it's 9 stories altogether. But it's actually kind of fun, like listening to other people's like style of narration. Um,
Yeah.
we should collab sometime. I would love that. I actually want to get more into more into collabs this year. I know I said last year that I wanted to, and I just didn't really step up, but I definitely want to do more stuff.
Yeah,
And
my next review is going to have a special guest that I don't know if you know who they are. No, wait, yeah, you do, because he was in the chat
oh,
last time.
who?
It's a secret.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I had to scroll it because I can never remember the channel name False Proxy Sessions. I'm so used to like calling him by his I think his Instagram handle name. He goes by Angel Martin, but he does like film reviews also. He's just kind of like pops up every now and again. But I know I had shot him the idea once that he should do kind of like kind of like one of those 1940s radio shows, like with the sound effects and everything. I think that would be really cool. And considering his style of video, I would definitely love to collab with him on that style of video. I think it would work out well for both of us since he's more into the audio end anyway. I think it would be kind of cool. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but I'll probably just message him later and ask. Um, oh, that's funny. Okay, you're still in the chat. You disappeared there. Okay, I didn't know if you like checked out or not. So I don't know if you like heard my idea or not, but I think that'd be kind of like cool if you'd be interested in doing that.
Still here.
Yeah. Um,
If anyone here wants to, just leave me a comment on one of my videos. I don't know. I've never heard of Double Shot J.
oh. That's like almost a sacrilege. He's been around forever. Um,
Has he really? I don't.
yeah, I've been following him for a while. I think he actually started YouTube before I did, and he's still kind of like part of that original crowd from when I had first jumped in.
I guess I'll have to check out his stuff. I'll subscribe to him.
But yeah, I would definitely love to, even with like Jay, I would love to do like a collab. I mean, I don't know if like you have anything in mind or anything in particular that you're working on. Um, but yeah, I mean, like that, it kind of like keeps bringing back that idea of like that live stream show that I want to do where it would kind of be like um, not necessarily like a debate, but like a discussion on like maybe someone who has the unpopular opinion about a film, just kind of like basically kind of like hashing it out. I think that would be kind of like a whole cool concept to do.
Is there a
But
movie that you like that everyone hates, or
or vice versa. Like
yeah?
for example, I think it was Let's Scare Jessica to Death. I think I said the name wrong, but I freaking hate that movie. I think it's so boring. And I know I did my review for it, and somebody had said to me, "Well, excuse me, I think you were asleep through the whole movie." I'm like, "Yeah, I fell asleep twice. It was boring."
Yeah. I guess one movie I found was good, but I expected a lot from it, like a lot more from it. And it's probably something I should never say, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I bet it was shocking the when it came out, but
Hmm.
nowadays it's a little bit tame with what happens now on in horror.
Let's bore Jessica to death. That's funny. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like the first time I saw Texas Chainsaw, I was in junior high, but like the copy I was watching was like so old, and the VHS tape was like so deteriorated. Like the whole screen looked black, so you couldn't even see what was going on.
It's still a good movie. It's just it's not. I don't think it's amazing or anything.
Hmm. Killing of a Sacred Deer and Mother. I still haven't seen those. I was actually really keen on checking out Mother. I kind of liked the whole concept of that one, but I still haven't seen that one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Double Shot J. He says that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is his like favorite horror film.
Um, I like that one, and honestly, because I live in the Austin area, I've actually done the tour. Like I did a video tour of it like a long time ago. Like you'd have to like super dig to find it, but I did all of the locations. Like I had visited the gas station, but that was like before it got remodeled and opened, so it was like still closed and for sale. I went to that one spot in the cemetery, like the opening scene where you have like the corpse that was like strung up on the little tombstone. I went there. Um, the murder house, which actually got moved to Kingsland, which is a restaurant now. I actually went there, and they actually have really good food. But I did the whole tour. I kind of want to redo it because they reopened the gas station. So I think that'd be kind of fun to see like how they like if they kept it true to the way it was, or if they like made some updates here and there.
You know what they should do? They should make the gas station and the original house like a haunted house and
I
make it
mean,
like TCM like themed or something.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Like the original house. I don't know like how familiar you are with like Texas or not, but like the original murder house like sat in Round Rock. And there's actually a shopping strip now. So there's literally like a Barnes and Noble where the house used to be, which I thought was kind of funny. Kind of like, it's a bookstore. People aren't dying here anymore. Let's pretend to be classy. Oh yeah, Jesse went to the gas station recently. I think he went with a Fiend on Film when he was actually visiting down here a few weeks ago. Dave K. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. Obviously, he and Jesse hang out quite a bit. But yeah, he had been telling me that they were wanting to go check that out. Gory wants to do a video for the cafe from Twin Peaks. That reminds me, and I totally kick myself. Like when they were doing the From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show, there's a restaurant that got remodeled temporarily for one of the scenes. It had like the big Kahuna Burger sign on it, and I had driven by a couple of times when the sign was still up, and I was like, well, I'll come back, I'll come back. And by the time I finally made it back, the sign was gone. I'm like, okay, now it's back to being the regular thing. So I think it would have been cool if I had caught it when it still had, like the whole dressing for the TV show on it. But you snooze, you lose.
Yeah. I went to the Bunny Man Bridge because that's I live near I mean I live in Virginia, but I don't live near that. But it's the closest forward thing in my
Mm-hmm,
area. So I went to visit it, and I went with a few of my friends, and like we drove all the way there, and then one of the neighbors around the place told us to like be cautious about the place, and we were like, okay, whatever.
mm-hmm,
And then we start climbing like these rocks, and we thought it was like you can just walk on it, and then we get there and we see like it's a train track, and then you can see like miles each way, and then we start saying like, okay, we should probably get down before like the train comes, and so
mm-hmm,
we get down, and then the guy like says like, I told you guys to like not do that. I told you not to go on it. And then we were like, no, you didn't. You just told us to be careful. And then he was like, well, we're gonna need your name and stuff because he was gonna call the cops or something. And then so we just went in our car and we are like, okay, let's just move our car right now. And then we just drove off. And that was like 6 months ago. So I don't think the cops are after me.
That's funny.
But yeah,
Yeah, I know
Bunnyman
they.
Bridge isn't really that famous. I guess no one really knows what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard kind of like I don't know if it's like related to it or not. Kind of like the whole Bunny Man massacres or something, where it's like supposedly some guy that busted out of like an insane asylum, and he just kind of like put on like some Easter costume or something just to like hide out. Or I don't know if I'm like confusing my stories.
No, yeah, that's the myth.
Mm-hmm.
but it's too much to talk about. And they hang bunnies, and I have a bunny right here, and I don't really want to bring
Yeah.
that up. But yeah, he just did some messed up things to people, like
Mm-hmm.
7 people or something. It wasn't really a massacre because it was between days and stuff. I think it was just murders, and they put massacre because I don't know. It sounds cooler.
Try to sensationalize it, make it
Yeah.
more exciting.
Oh, I like The Ring, like the American version of The Ring. It was very creepy.
Oh, I didn't even know they shot The Ring over there. Um, I think it's hilarious. Everybody refers to the American remake as the horse movie. Yeah, I had actually seen the remake before the original, and I don't think it's bad. I mean, they're just they're completely different. They have their own feel.
Yeah. Each movie's kind of its own, except they both have samurai.
Hmm. I don't know if you guys can hear like the noise in the background. Apparently, there's like a siren passing by.
I don't really hear it. Isaiah Acosta. I don't know.
Beep, no. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like in my area, I think like TCM was like the major thing that was shot around here because it's there were scenes from Bastrop, which is where the gas station is, and then you also have I think the cemetery's in Leander, if I'm remembering correctly, and then the house was originally in Round Rock, so it was definitely like surrounding areas. But other than that, like in my area, I don't think there was like any major or significant films or anything that were shot over here.
What age did you start getting into horror movies and stuff?
I just kind of like grew up around it because I was like the little one in the family. So whatever happened to be playing, like whatever, like you know, my older siblings were teenagers or whatever, and I would just kind of like sit down, you know, like be the annoying sister, like, "What are you watching? What's this? Ah, that's scary," you know, just like being obnoxious.
Yeah, I watched the John Carpenter's The Thing when I was like 5, and it's not smart to do that because it kind of gave me some like nightmares and stuff. But ever since then, I think I've been pretty desensitized to gore in movies. I think that really helped me get into it.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the early ones I remember watching was like Poltergeist. Like I was visiting at my sister's house because, you know, like back in the 80s when like the whole satellite thing was like a big deal. So she would like record VHS and then she would like drop them off at the house and we would watch whatever she recorded. And I remember there was like a clip from Poltergeist that was playing. And I was like, "Oh, did you record that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's already on the tape." But you know, it's kind of like I was seeing it and I'm like, "Duh, this thing's really scary." And then I'm like, I hope she didn't. And then I asked her anyway. She's like, oh, okay. Kind of like, oh. But yeah, I don't, I was just like one of those weirdo kids.
Yeah, I'm still a weirdo kid. Mm.
False proxy sessions. I've only been to Las Vegas during the filming of The Stand. That was a stretch. Um, Geez, what was that, like mid 90s, I think, when they were filming that mini series. I remember reading that book during like summer school break, and I think it took me like maybe 6 to 8 months to finish reading it. That book is huge. And then when you get to like where the I don't know if you guys have read it or not, but like when they're holding like their council meetings to like I guess rebuild society, and you've got like their meeting notes and everything. I'm like, oh gosh, that part of the book was so boring. It's like super serious.
I was trying to read the book It by Stephen King, and then I was like, I think I don't know, I was like almost halfway done with the book, and then my friend told me that there's a kid orgy in the movie or in the book, not the movie. That'd be weird, but
Yeah,
then I just stopped
Gory
reading.
was talking about that on one of her live streams too,
Yeah,
where all little boys kind of like took turns with God, I can't even remember her name, Beverly Marsh.
yeah.
She was marshing it up.
I don't know what's wrong with Stephen King. His books seem to have a similar theme when it comes to weirdness.
Yeah, he lives in his own world. Um, I honestly haven't read any of his books in a long time. I think the last one I read was like a short story collection. Everything's Eventual, and I didn't even finish reading the stories in that one.
I'm not a big Stephen King fanatic, but you know, you got to know his movies, and I've watched the majority of them.
Yeah,
So
I mean they
he gets
definitely
my
have their own style, and you can tell like when he had a hand in the screenplay just by the way the flow of the film, like the way things move. You can definitely tell when he worked on something.
yeah. What's your opinion on the original It movie? Because I'm not a big fan of it.
I actually watched it when it was airing, so I actually like it. I guess mostly just because all the kid actors, it's kind of like they're all familiar faces, whereas like the new It movie, I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I can't relate to them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so it kind of like definitely like pushes you out, kind of like, oh, it's definitely a different feel. But I know like that one shower scene, I think it was like all claymation, but like where Pennywise like crawls up through the drain. And I'm like, I was old enough to know better, but it still made me nervous about like actually wanting to go and take a shower because like you know nothing's gonna happen, but you saw what happened. It's kind of funny,
I think
kind of
what
like
scared me more was that Nightmare on Elm Street 2 shower scene where everything like balls started getting thrown across the room, and
mm,
then the coach got um his he got like stripped down and then whipped with what was it, a towel, and
yeah.
then and then he's just laying there and then it's all bloody. I think that really scarred me about showers. Now I don't shower in those kind of places.
I don't remember the second one as much because I'm really not too crazy about it, but I remember reading somewhere that it was like considered the first homoerotic film of the 80s. And I'm kind of like, okay, didn't even think about it that way.
I mean, there are balls thrown and people's, uh, specifically males, but being whipped.
Yeah,
And, and then there's a dance scene. I think we all know the dance scene by this point.
yeah.
If you watch both.
Gory. I think Pet Cemetery is the scariest film I've ever seen. That one definitely gets under my skin. Like, I love that movie. It's like one of my favorites, but I don't watch it that often because, like, if you're in a good mood, you don't want to see that because it's a mood killer. But it's definitely got like that awesome creep factor to it.
I've only seen that when I was a kid, and I honestly don't remember much. But uh, I don't know if I should watch it because I'm in a pretty good mood right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those like it definitely can be totally depressing. Especially like that one scene where like Gage gets hit and you see like the little shoe rolling across the road. I mean, I saw that in theater when I was a kid, and like my brother who was like in college at the time, I heard him like next to me. He's like, "Oh," So that I thought that was just kind of funny. You know, it just like totally gets you in the feels.
From the kitchen.
Zelda scares me. She's definitely creepy, even though Zelda's a he. I think that's part of like what makes her stand out so much because they got a male to play the role, which just makes it more unnerving because I don't want to say like androgynous, but you can tell there's like something off.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I forget the director's name, the lady who filmed um, Pet Cemetery, but I know she was pretty good friends with one of the Ramones, and at one point in time, she did want to make a documentary. She has a YouTube, and like you can actually see like the unedited pieces that she was going to use in that documentary. And I guess she just decided not to work on it after all. But she put them up, so it's like you can totally just see like what it potentially could have been. Oh yeah,
Kind
Mary
of weird.
Lambert. Um, but I think kind of like the second reason they used the Ramones was, if I remember correctly, they were also one of Stephen King's favorite bands.
The Ramones.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there is a Pet Cemetery uh, documentary, um, Unearthed and Untold. I've been wanting to review that forever. I actually have a physical copy of it somewhere in my room here, but I know like if you I don't know if like you follow like Horror Pack or anything. It seems like they're trying so hard to just finish selling the last of their copies of that thing, which is sad because I thought it was like really well done. Okay, so was there like a
Wait, how?
different Pet
What?
Cemetery documentary, or I don't know if me and Gory are talking about the same one.
How many pet cemeteries have there been?
I mean, I don't like the second one with that kid from Terminator in it. I think the story just sucks. But to my knowledge, there's only just those two. But I consider the sequel more of like a spin-off. It's not like a direct actual sequel. Like they make loose reference to Ellie and like how she went to like the funny farm after everything that she and her family went through, but there's like no actual ties to the original film.
Hmm. Is What's
Okay, I
one of
mean,
your
Dory, you're
worst
talking about the
favorite?
same movie. Yeah, it's already out. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys like have Horror Pack or anything, but yeah, they're always like trying to sell like their leftover copies of it. I had done their crowdfunding for that one also, so I actually have like a T-shirt with like the same cover from the film, which I thought was kind of neat, like the whole VHS thing, and then it has like the round circle that says horror on there. Just kind of like very throwback the way they treated that. I can't buy new movies right now. I'm doing the same thing. I'm kind of like on a buying freeze for movies.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, yeah. My brother just got home, so he's asking to be let out.
What's your least favorite horror sequel? Like direct sequel?
For me, I'm not too sure. I mean, like, um, the first thing that kind of comes to mind is the Fright Night. Like, I actually prefer the sequel to the original, but um, it's kind of a bummer that they never released that.
I've only seen Fright Night 1.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while for the first one to grow on me. I don't know, for some reason it just I mean, like I liked it as a kid, and then I rewatched it when I got older, and I was like, I don't like it anymore. And then I recently rewatched them when I did like the my review for like the franchise of that, and I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad.
Didn't they make a remake of it though?
Yes, they did too. I didn't think they were that great, but they're not that bad.
Is there a franchise that you just hate, like a horror franchise or anything?
Um, I can't think of any like right off the top of my head.
I think Phantasm's my least. No, actually, I think Hellraiser's my least favorite franchise.
Um, Honestly,
I like the
I
first.
people seem to like the second Hellraiser, and I hate that one too. I mean, to me, the only good one is the first one, and then they're just all downhill from there. I don't know what happened to those poor movies.
Yeah, especially since half of them are just crime thrillers that were gonna be released, and then they just slapped on Hellraiser and Pinhead like last minute, and then they just uh, I believe they're all direct to video, right?
I think Bloodlines was like the last one that was in theater, and then from there, like they're all direct to video. Yeah.
Was Bloodline the one in space?
Hmm?
Was Bloodline the one in space?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why, but for some reason, like they eventually always do like some time travel thing or they go to outer space. I'm like, we're running out of ideas. Let's make it obvious.
At least Freddy didn't go to space.
Not yet. I think
Yeah,
they
not
were
that yet.
talking about rebooting it. I don't know if they like dropped it or not.
After part three, they were
Yeah,
my
after
bad.
part three. I didn't really like the third one. I forget the name. Was it Pyramid Gallery? The store that was referenced in the third one. There's actually a an actual company out there where they sell like replicas of the I forget the name of the box, but it's actually like pretty much like an exact copy of it, but they're music boxes, and I think they're just really pretty.
The
And I
third
think
film was
they're
a slasher, I think.
the what?
The third Hellraiser was more of a slasher. Like it was trying to be an 80s slasher.
Kind of, yeah.
And then the fourth one's in space. And then the next, basically all of them were uh, just the same psychological thrillers with Hellraiser.
Yeah. I mean, I love the first one, and I'm totally cool with that one. I know the second Hellraiser, they just kind of like sampled score bits from like the original film, but I mean, that's pretty much the only good thing it had going for it is it just recycled music.
I haven't seen the second one in a long time.
I hate the second one. I think it's so stupid. Bradley likes part three the best of the sequels. I prefer two and four. I think it's just like one of those where everyone just kind of like goes split in opposite directions. Like there's no actual common ground of like this one's the best one or in this order from best to worst. Just because they're all so different and everyone's taste is so different.
Oh,
That would actually be one heck of a project. Like put them in order from like best to worst because they're all so bad. I think Children of the Corn also like after the third one, I wouldn't watch them. They just get worse. I don't even remember like the plots of any of them past the third one.
my thing here froze. don't know if you can see me or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if my camera froze or not. I mean, like everything on my end seems to be playing fine.
I guess just mine. But can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I mean, the sound and the visuals coming through fine.
And let me just check up on the screen.
Yeah, it might be your camera. I still haven't
Oh, there
seen
we
any
go.
of the Children of the Corn sequels. I would advise against it. After part three, they get really bad. The ones I haven't watched in a long time are the Critters films. I'm like, I barely remember those.
Don't watch them. They're kind of they're not really worth the.
I just like remember like that one random scene, and I don't even know which movie it was, where like they were painting them up as Easter eggs.
Uh, I do remember that. I don't remember the movie
Yeah.
though. Those movies are good, but they're bad, but they're good. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like the same movie where they like all like bunched up into like a big ball and they were just like rolling around the countryside just eating stuff. I thought that was kind of funny.
I mean, they had to have been some sort of high or on drugs or something when making.
Yeah. But other than that, I can't think of like any franchises that were like super horrible other than like Children of the Corn right off the top of my head or
They're still making those movies. I saw one at a store. It was like Children of the Corn 17. And all the titles look the same because it just says Children of the Corn, and then it shows a bunch of children in a cornfield. But,
yeah.
I think. Well, actually, what's your favorite franchise? I can't think of a bad one.
Um, can't think of any. I mean, like I'm kind of like looking around my room just trying to cheat and remember, but um, I don't have like any franchises that just kind of like really pop right out at me. Maybe like Nightmare on Elm Street, just because I grew up with those. I definitely still love marathoning those.
I think mine would have to be the Evil Dead franchise because the first one's really good. It's very amateur, but it's like a
Hmm.
nostalgia filled. And then the second one is where I think it's my personal favorite,
Hmm.
and it's like a good blend of horror and comedy, while the first one was just horror, like to be shocking and scary, and they achieved
Yeah, I
at it.
mean,
And then the third one's just comedy filled, and it just doesn't care anymore.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the
the
other two.
definitely took it a weird turn, like the whole time travel and the period piece and everything, but it works for it. Like even if I don't know if you ever watched like Bruce Campbell when he would like guest on Xena, where they kind of like did that whole bit again with like the whole goody two shoes, where he was like kind of like split apart and he was like beating himself up and stuff. So I kind of like how they did like the carryover joke in that.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell's getting old for his age. He should start. He just he. I think he's doing the right thing now, and he's
Mm,
playing Ash. uh, when he's old and stuff and cranky. Which I can see Ash being cranky, like a cranky old man.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Ash versus Evil Dead show, and I know a few years back I actually got to meet Bruce Campbell, and I was like so nervous I couldn't even say hi, and I'm like I totally regret that. Like I wish I could get a do over because I'm like it's kind of like I just like totally froze, and it's like a wasted opportunity, you know?
Uh, I wish I met those people. I mean, I bet I could go and see them. Just I would need permission from my parents, and they're all like, they think horror movies are too scary and stuff, and they're like, "You do you, just keep us out of it." Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like this past October, I traveled the next town over, so I like went over to San Antonio for the day, just really quick, just to meet the Saskas, and they're actually really fun. You know, very awesome, very friendly people. So I actually enjoyed that experience. I actually hung around, and I think I spoke to them for like maybe 15 or 20 minutes after, but like it was like so slow. It's not like there was even a line, so it's not like anybody was looking at me like, "Hurry up! It's my turn to take a picture." So that was
Yeah.
actually kind of cool.
Uh, I'm so lame. The only person I got to meet was that buddy dude from that Cake Boss show because my mom was like obsessed with that. And then I went like she literally drove all the way to New Jersey, and then we just said hi to him and left. It was the whole reason that you went there.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, no one does except for my mom. But
It makes her happy. That's all that matters.
yeah, I remember just like I was saying hi to him, and I was like, "Oh hey," and I thought he was just like a friend that worked there. And then there was like a huge crowd and stuff. I should have been aware. And
Hmm.
then when we got home, I she was watching TV and I saw him. I was like, "Oh, that's the guy that I said hi to." And she was like, "Yeah, he's famous." And I was like, "What?" Like next time, tell me that, mom. Give me a heads up.
Like, let me know so I can pay attention. That's funny.
I think things are working well. Do-do-do. Yeah. Uh, hold on. Just putting up the chat again. I like cake and candy. I ate a burger today. Are these your subscribers talking, or are they just random people?
um, I'm not familiar with Isaiah Acosta, so no disrespect intended, but false proxy, I do know him.
No, I mean Isaiah seems cool. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he ate a burger for God's sake.
He didn't eat it, he hoovered it.
No. uh, I'm a subscriber. Well, and we're horror pals. I like to think so.
That sounds like you know, it kind of reminds me of like the Super Friends thing. We're the horror pals. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say something like monsters or something, where it's like a whole family of horrific people.
I'm not good at like making up little songs on the spot. I think that's more like Gory's thing.
So please, okay, I'll subscribe.
My power will be bad puns. That's funny. I guess mine would be kind of obvious. Like I could just like instantly like transform. So I'd be like the horror version of Mystique or something.
Uh, Isaiah's saying, "What's your fave food?" I like pizza. That's what he said. Hmm. I think I like.
I'm addicted to Coke, Diet Coke.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought
I know. That's why I kind of
like
started laughing, and then like Diet Coke popped up. I'm like, okay, never mind. Missed joke opportunity. I like
I thought
babies.
I like babies. Oh,
I like to bite off their little toes one by one. No.
I was gonna say I like little miniature children, but then I thought you would end the call and then block me or something. Like, oh well, sounds delicious. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean cake. Baby flavored cake.
There, and now you won't get demonetized. Uh, I'm just obsessed with like fried rice and lo mein and stuff like that.
Mm,
Really? You gotta do that now? I was waiting this whole time to make sure my sister would start vacuuming, and now she starts vacuuming.
that's funny.
Oh, I hate being the younger one of two older sisters because they can't relate and they just tell me to shut up. I mean, I guess that's kind of their job. I like chocolate, milk, and Oreos.
Yeah.
I think Isaiah's playing it smart.
I'm not too picky. Like, as long as it has cheese in it, I like it. So, like, pizza, Italian food. If it has cheese, it's a winner.
Yeah. I like cheese too, but I don't like I don't like cheese like cheese alone. I think that's my limit. That's my cheesy limit.
No, I like to get like those baby bells, and then just like snack on them.
Yeah.
Not the whole bag, of course. You'd be like so sorry.
Can you guys hear it? I'm probably the only one that
I don't hear anything, but that was probably like me earlier, where like there was a siren passing, and I was like, I didn't know if you guys could hear it.
can. Kind of sounds like a chainsaw, so at least that's at least that's there.
Chips Ahoy, chewy. I like those thin Oreos, the salted caramel. I like to like double them up and then dip them in my coffee and eat them like that. Just kind of like get creative with your cookies.
Creative. Oh my god. I don't know. I guess I'm the only one annoyed.
Rice covered in ketchup. That was supposed to look like maggots and blood.
Anybody want
Anybody
some?
want some cocaine?
Anyone want some cocaine? My friend made a joke saying the way you can say you can pronounce Michael Caine's name is if
Hmm.
you say my cocaine in a Jamaican accent, like Marco Caine.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Uh, Lord. Uh, uh, it's 8:30 right now, and my hold on. I'm sorry. I've been constantly checking my phone. It's just I'm texting someone while doing this. Yeah, okay. Are there any more questions, or can I?
No, I think it's pretty much just like slowed down. So, I mean, I don't feel like you need to jump off or if you need to do anything.
Yeah, my friend Abby wants to, because I told her I would call her later, and that was like 3 hours ago, and then I completely forgot about this thing,
Well, now she
and then I was
totally
just
knows
like,
you've been
man,
ignoring her.
oh yeah,
I was
well,
actually about to say that what Gory was saying, like, have we decided what we were going to chat about during the stream? Kind of like come up with like topics just to have it be more structured instead of um just kind of like him haw here and there.
I have a whole list, not a whole list, but I have like the title of the list, and then one thing,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be like just a bunch of weird topics I thought of or something. But now that I know you a little bit more, I think I could be more savvy as what I put on the list.
Babies and cocaine.
Babies and cocaine. Okay.
That's funny. Just make it a carryover joke, and then in the stream, nobody will know what in the world that's about.
Our subscribers will go down drastically.
That's funny.
All right. Well, this has been a good test stream or chit chat or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting Isaiah, uh,
Isaiah with the Oreos.
OCD horror, and Gory. So yeah, thank you for having me on. When I leave, does that end the whole entire live thing, or is it still going?
I think it should go on, but I mean, it's kind of like slowed down enough to where I think we could possibly just like both jump off because I know I had like some other stuff I needed to do too. Like, unless anybody else just kind of wanted to hang out and chit chat with me for a bit, I can hang around for a bit longer. Now I'm gonna go have
Uh,
some babies or cake. You should get
okay.
like those donuts with the jelly filling, but it's actually baby fat.
I thought you were gonna say you should like put a baby's face on it
No, you
and
have
then
to
just like
feed off
freeze it.
the lard of the innocent because that's a high concentration of purity. So like you'll be invincible for at least 24 hours.
Something tells me you've thought of this a lot of times.
And now I'm just random.
Okay. Well, again, it's been nice meeting you. Thank you for inviting me. And we're on. Wait, what time do you get on the creepy channel call? Because I know here it's 1 p.m.
um, do what?
The creepy channel crawl thing.
We're scheduled at 3 o'clock, which I believe is 4 o'clock your time. I think you're like an
Is
hour
it
ahead of
really?
me.
I thought it was 1 p.m.
Well,
Whatever.
I'm going
I
by
guess.
like my time zone, which is like 3 o'clock in my time zone.
Okay. I must have read it wrong. I'll just
Yeah,
hop on.
I know Gori posted like the time conversions further down on like her web page, so it'll have like our time and then it'll translate it to like your time zone.
Okay. That would be a lot better.
Yeah,
uh.
she already has that up, so it we should be cool.
Okay. Hold on. Just doing something. Okay.
When I played Derby, I would tell the girls on the other team I was going to eat their babies. Hopefully there weren't any pregnant girls out there.
Oh shit, that'd be crazy.
That'd be so funny. Chasing
I'm
pregnant
afraid to.
girls on skates.
I'm afraid to click the end call because I'm afraid it'll end the whole call. Okay, well, I'm just gonna click on it.
Okay,
Three.
yeah, it looks like Gory popped in the link to the her time conversion chart on there
Oh, did she
in the
really?
chat.
Hold on, that's important. I gotta click. Let me click on it real quick.
Yeah, that time chart thing definitely really helped. I know I like pop back in, and it's like if I want to make sure I catch somebody when they're on, I check like my time to see when they're going to be on, just that way I can at least make sure I can catch a few other people's live streams also when we get going. Okay, yeah, Gory says when you leave the call, it won't end. It will end when Kara ends it on her own end. That's a lot of ends.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right, well, nice chatting with you.
And bye.
Yeah, I don't know if like anybody else wants to hang out or if anybody else has any other questions or if this would just be kind of like a good stopping point because I know it was like a really close-knit chat that we had here in the stream going on. But it looks like we've been going for 2 hours, so that's probably a good stopping time unless anybody else wants to like jump on. I'm gonna watch the whole thing with Danny. Yeah, sleep shifts probably would be a good option there because we're old. Nah. Yeah, but I know for sure there's like a few streams that I myself want to catch while they're going on live. Um, I feel that we've all bonded and grown as people. I like how everybody came closer together. I hate that like how you guys like get really busy in the chat sometimes and I'm at work so I can't even like pop in to see like what you guys are talking about. So I'm like always in the dark. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm ignoring everybody, but I kind of like don't have an opportunity to go in there. And then when I have time, there's like so many chats going on. I'm like, I'm not reading all that. But yeah. No, I definitely want to try and catch the after party. I need to like double check that in my time zone since I know like for work I have to be up like super early, so I probably might have to like rewatch it the next morning after it's done. Yeah. But I am interested to see like what everyone else comes up with. I want party hats. Do you like the super novel thing, like where you have like the ugly holiday sweater and then like the over the top hats to go with it? Alrighty. But yeah, I guess right now would be kind of like a good stopping point since it looks like we've been streaming for about 2 hours, and I know there's tons of other stuff I need to watch and take notes on for stuff I want to review since I'm still like in like this crazy like super upload mode. So I'll probably just jump off and do that. Um, but yeah, thanks for dropping by and checking out the stream. I know I'm not really like that good about sending out links and stuff, so I probably will have to take a look at that next time when when we actually do the creepy channel crawl thing. But definitely something to keep in mind for next time. So yeah, learning experience. Watch time. Yeah. I definitely want to get with you about that idea that I keep bringing up as far as, kind of like the whole live stream show, just because I want to learn, um, I guess, better techniques on how to set things up. But I guess I'll message you about that later, like after like the whole like horror channel YouTube promotion thing has like settled down, because I know everybody's like really gearing up, and we're like really going to kick it up like this weekend when we're all taking a look at each other's channels and stuff. Sure. I'm not familiar with that, but I mean, anything you're willing to teach me, I would definitely love to learn. I mean, at least better my skills and take a look at stuff. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably wait until like the whole creepy channel crawl and everything is settled down, just like to contact you about that, because I'm sure everybody's going to like really be tired and recuperating after that too. So, but yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and jump off, because yeah, I did want to take a look at putting other reviews and stuff together, since I'm like in super work mode right now. I don't know why. But yeah. But yeah, thanks to Gory and everyone else who dropped by. Definitely made it a fun chat, especially with the questions and everything. Survive the crawl first, definitely. Um, but already, I guess I'll just go ahead and hop off and wish you guys a good evening. And thank you so much to everyone who dropped by and checked out the stream. But I guess that's it. Good night and have a nice evening.